Let me get my ish right, man. You hear me? And stand beat. Cause though, let me get my journalist, you understand me? Whoopty wop boom. KIU conversation, you know what we doing. Another one. Let's see where my guy at. There he go. There go a champion.
Love one.
What you doing, Daddy O?
Oh, nothing too much, man. Just celebrating my wife's birthday out here in Napa. Just did a little Napa train.
Man, I appreciate you for taking the time out, bro. I know it was a busy day for a champ, so I appreciate you
Man, absolutely, man. Real niggas do real things, man.
all the time, all the time. I just had to bring you on here, bro. Give you your flowers first and foremost, man. You know what I mean, for being not only a champion, you know what I mean, in the ring, but a champion in real life. You dig what I'm saying, Brody?
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, man. I mean, the ring shit was got to where I'm at right now, man. But ultimately, it's about getting back to the people.
Straight like that, straight like that. So, I'm gonna start off. What was your household like growing up, bro?
Um, you know what? Let me step out this thing
Do
and
you
let me
think
go in the car so it ain't too loud. Hold on.
it's all good?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we
I'm
got
gonna
an
go to the car.
exclusive, man. You know what I mean?
Warm. Excuse me. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, say, man.
Yeah, talk to me. There we go. You feel me? Chef had to get
Yeah, man.
situated.
Right. Now, what you was saying? What was that question, cuz?
What was your household like growing up?
Well, in particular, my household was, to be honest, it was like, it was pretty. I don't want to say it was the same. I grew up in the streets. I grew up in the hood for sure. But I had an interesting, you know, um, childhood. For one, you know, I didn't celebrate like a lot of the common holidays that people celebrate. My grandmother enlightened me to, tell me who I was as a person, as a human being. Telling me about my not only my heritage, but my who what people that I spring from. Where I came from for the most part, and shit. Again, though, I definitely grew up in the streets though, so a lot of my peers, you know, uh, kind of, I don't want to say the same situation, but a lot of my peers was murdered, man, and killed, in senseless violence, man. But overall, though, I definitely say I had my upbringing with my family was definitely good. That's why I say I contribute a lot of my success as a man overall, and as an entrepreneurs from my household.
Mm. Did you have pops in the house?
I didn't have my dad in the house, but I would see him every other weekend. So he lived in the town. Shouts out to town business. So I was back and forth to Oakland, from the city, and definitely pops was a positive influence on my life, in my life. And I mean, shit, like I said though, we definitely grew up a little unorthodox in the hood, as in like we knew how to. My brother and I, we knew how to ski hella young. Niggas in the hood don't be knowing how to ski. We knew how
Mhm.
to ski. We knew how to swim. Like, what I mean? We was like, before organic food got all popular, Pops Ben had us on stuff like that. So he exposed us to a whole lot, that a lot of cats in the hood didn't see. I mean, a father was one of them,
Mhm.
shit, to be honest. Being exposed to a father and having a father figure was definitely a good look.
What was the pops religion, or was he in sports or something? What was his
Yeah,
lifestyle that made him into the healthy?
father was, he's more so like a spiritual man for the most part. He never, like said that, he never. I guess because he knew my upbringing for the most part. that that we weren't religious, as in, because and people say, oh, maybe they think, oh, you weren't religion, as in you weren't spiritual. We were very spiritual,
Hmm.
but we were cultural. Religion was given to our people when our language and our culture was taken. So it was a substitute, and as they say, a substitute would never do. But nevertheless, he was he was a I guess you can say a God fearing man.
Yeah.
I would hear him say, he would pray, and but for the most part, he never brought like a religion or even any of the holidays, in our eyes, in our vision, our path.
What schools did you go to, bro?
So I went to Everett. Shouts out to Everett Middle School. I went to Everett. So I lived in Daly City for a while, though. For a second, first I lived in the Mo. Then we moved up. No, then we moved into Sunnydale. Shouts out to Sunnydale. I lived in the Sunnydale projects for a bit, and then the OG Towers, and then we had moved back to the Mo, and then yeah, say from the Mo, we stayed there for quite some time. That's where I got all my game and my name from. And then and then mom's leveled up, man, and got some property, man, and shit. Now she's still up here. She's still up there to this day. Well, we call it the ranch, man. It's a few
Yeah.
hours out from the city, and it's real serene out there. Ranch life.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
you from the wash house or you gal or which one?
Yep. No. Oh yeah. So answer your question, man. I'm going back to your question. Wash house. The wash. I went to wash. Yeah, as a high schooler. Then I started fucking up, and I didn't graduate from Wash. I ended up going to Ida B. Wells, actually, where I ended up starting to fight at, box at. And then yeah, so then ended up graduating from Ida B. Man, kind of was catting off in high school. It's funny though, because somebody, my OG folks was just like Reem. My brother Laurent Mobetta Mochetta, he was already in high school. He was about a year or two older than me, and they like, bruh, you Ron little brother, don't come in here doing too much because you're gonna fuck up your whole year, man. Stay focused. Woo, woo, woo. What I do, fuck up my whole year. So the years, I'm like trying to do makeup work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was bullshitting. I was LeBron little brother. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I was lit myself. I was making my own name. So I was more so I wasn't focused on what I should have been focused on. I was looking to be really to be seen for the most part and really have my name ringing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So which a lot of youngsters kind of fall off the straight and narrow to look for that type of validation.
What kind of being Laurent little brother? I know that already had good to it for sure. You know what I mean? You already leading and letting them know, so
Right.
you already had a good it. The name already preceded you. How did that work for you?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I feel like it definitely worked in my favor in some capacity, just on the strength that it kind of like, oh, that's Ron little brother, so it gave me a pass. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? For the
Yeah.
most part, and I was looking to make my own name for myself too, though. But just being Laurent little brother, I say it was kind of a double-edged sword because Laurent little brother, it kind of made me lit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I was just like, oh, it's a Ron little brother, so I'm like, let me live up to this Laurent little brother
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? And kind of that's just kind of a little bit made me kind of lose focus, you know what I mean? Because again, I was looking to be validated in the wrong way, and even though my brother was doing his thing, to be honest, he kind of cat it off a little bit, but he graduated in the whole nine. But like I said, just coming up and having him be my elder brother, man, was just like, okay, my brother lit. Let me try to be lit too. And I'm sure I already know I was, I was probably a little cringy trying to follow my big brother and trying to do the shit that he was doing.
Yeah.
He used to at me a little bit, but he used to brush me off too. Like, bruh, you ain't my age, bruh. You know what
Go
I mean? We close. You ain't my age, bro. You kind of you're cramping my style. You know what I mean?
on.
Hell yeah.
Did you play other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played football. I was actually, to be honest, I was supposed to be a man. I was the next Barry Sanders, man. Shouts out to the legend Barry Sanders, bro. I'm not too tall in stature, right?
Yeah.
And Barry Sanders was like that was a man. Like he was my definitely my role model for one. He was about the same height, same stature, and like I was skilled. I was certainly. I definitely would have been in the NFL, man. But again, going back to the grades, it kind of fucked me up. So I was doing playing catch up for most of the time of my high school, most of the time in high school. And just kind of again, like I said, then I attempted after I got out of high school. I tried the junior college road, but you know how that road is,
Yeah,
man. It's like some road, bro, and unless you really got some major key people behind you, and you got like a major like a great supporting source,
support system.
it's hard to make it, bro, especially in junior college, man.
Hmm.
So it's because there's 1,000 people going for the same position as you.
Yeah. When did you fall in love with boxing, bro?
So I fell in love with boxing. Um, see, well, for one, I used to fight though a lot though. I used to fight in the streets, and like I was like I was known for like beating dudes up. You feel me? For like I was definitely known as I was my before I had hard hitter. I was K Steel, and I was definitely known for beating dudes up in the streets. Like, but don't get it twisted though. I wasn't a bully though. I wasn't a bully. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I literally on everything I love. I used to protect people. Like I used to protect niggas that was like bigger than me, like 6'6" niggas. Like, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. I got this nigga. Like, I used, you know what I mean? So I used to like to fight. I didn't realize I liked to fight until my cousin Rico brought it to my attention. Like, bro, you used to like to fight when you were younger. I'm like, bro, you tripping? I didn't like to fight. But like, imagine how many. He's like, picture how many situations that you that stepped in to fight for any of your family members. I started putting shit together. I'm like, I actually did like to fight, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But starting boxing, I actually started back to your question. I started boxing like actually pretty late in my life. At like 19 years old, that's late. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, normally cats are starting like 7, 8 years old. So starting, and like I said, I had fights. I didn't have no amateur fights, but fights in the streets was damn near just like
Yeah,
locking up.
put
So
them
I
on the
definitely
put
had
them
to
on the
start
books.
that ability. You said what, Cuddy?
Put those on the books. Count them things.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Hell yeah.
um, what weight do you fight at, cuz?
Yeah, so shit. When I was fighting, I ain't falling like damn near 3.5, 4 years now. But I was fighting at 140 and 147. At welterweight and welterweight. I won a title in both weight classes and defended them motherfuckers like at least like four or five times. Like 4 times I defended them things. And yeah, but I was fighting at 140, 147. I fought as high as 154, but that wasn't a good weight for me. But yeah, man. So yeah, like I said, I've been retired for just about 3 or 4 years, man. Kind of pivoted out of the sport.
What weight did you walk around at when you had to drop weight? What weight was you walking around and when you dropped down to your
I was
fighting?
walking. Yep, I was walking around. See, I was pretty, dedicated to the sport, so I
Mhm.
wouldn't balloon up, after
Yeah.
fights. So I stayed roughly around, 10 to 15 pounds above my fight weight.
Okay.
So a month before the fight, I started dropping weight. I'm like
Mhm.
looking and maybe in the night before the fight, I still have about 8 pounds on me, set about 7, 8 pounds on me, and then the night before the fight,
Mhm.
before the weigh-ins, yeah, which was the night before the fight, I would drop like 8, maybe 10 pounds at the most. I would drop,
Mhm.
but normally 6 or 7 pounds. So that night, that's probably a lot of people in there like, how the hell do you drop that much weight
Yeah.
within a few hours? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, I was able to drop 10 pounds almost every time I fought the night before the fight,
Okay.
the weigh-in, the
Um,
day before.
what you think? Which one was your most challenging fight?
Um, well, I'd say the most challenging fight was um I'd say probably Thomas Delorme. But that was to be honest, that was like more so um what word am I looking for? It was due to it was due to my circumstances.
Mhm.
Leading up to the fight. I don't make excuses by no means, but just knowing I didn't have a proper opportunity to train. I didn't have the time. I actually didn't have my head coach there. He showed up to the fight, but for the whole camp, he wasn't there.
Mhm.
And not to mention, my manager had went to jail in Jersey when I fought in Jersey. He went to jail, got busted by the feds the day at the weigh-ins.
Mm.
So it was on my mind then, and they, I had got hit. People was like, "Hey, bro, you on the news? You on the news?" I'm like, I was just like, "Yeah, of course I'm on the news, man. For Fillmore to HBO." Niggas like, "No, not for that, not for that." Send me the article. I was on news, bro, with I don't know if you remember a Shrimp Boy, the Asian mob
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Remember? Boy, yeah, Shrimp Boy. They had me with a picture with Shrimp Boy, like local fighter fighting on HBO. Seemed to have ties with the manager that was busted for the feds, and Shrimp Boy. So they linked me with all that, bro, just to make a huge story,
Yeah.
and people was like, man, you probably shouldn't take this fight. You got a lot in your mind, but a real motherfucker, real hitter is like kind of like, man, you just like, man, fuck, that shit ain't bothering me,
Right.
But to be honest, probably should have took a step back, just considering all the other circumstances that had led before the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, what was it like getting in there sparring with Pacquiao?
Oh shit, man, that was a dope experience. I mean, for one, fighting a world champion of that magnitude, man, was definitely a great experience. And but to be honest, I did my thing against him.
Yeah,
Actually, right
talk
after,
your shit, cuz. Talk your shit.
yeah, hell yeah, I did my shits, and it's on the internet. You can see like a couple of rounds. They actually had Ellie Setback. Shouts out to Ellie Setback. They had him remove a few rounds because I was beating his ass. But they left a couple of rounds on there of me sparring them. But man, they Pacquiao definitely showed me a whole lot of love in that camp. It was a great camp though. But after that camp, I did so well. I got signed. That's when I first got signed,
Mm,
to a major promoter. And then shit, right after that, I had my first televised, my second televised fight though, but on a major network. So
mm.
yeah, man, I had that, man. Like I said, that was a great experience. They showed me love. Shouts out to all my Filipino folks out there, man. And yeah, man, shit, it was overall definitely my first champion camp, and like I said, I excelled and did well, man. So that just gave me a lot of inspiration moving forward.
Transferring over a little bit, cuz talk about how you got into the cannabis space.
Shit, I had got into the cannabis space maybe about 5 years ago. The homie Joey Hunt had told me that the San Francisco cannabis OCC had opened up a portal uh, for um, for equity,
Mm,
which meant that anyone that qualified for equity was able to pretty much get a leg up on cannabis permits.
mm,
And I mean, what that meant, that it basically gave people that grew up in the area, if you fit this criteria, that grew up in an area that was affected on the war on drugs, you pretty much get a leg up before any of the big corporations came in and bought out all the permits.
mm,
So shout out to Oakland, California, the sister had that got the equity program put in, but pretty much that had gave me leverage for the most part to be able to orchestrate some good deals, man. So I had a few people get at me, a few big companies, corporations, and I ended up vetted pretty much everyone, me and my lawyer and I, and shit, we ran with Shrine Group. They appeared to be the best choice. So and that was a good experience. It took 5 years, it took quite some time, man. But I learned a whole lot within that 5 years, man. So we came up in the streets. We pretty much knew about weed was, you know what I mean, indica, or you know what I mean, sativa, you know
yeah,
what I mean, flight. We knew if it was flight, if it was Bammer, you know what I mean, for the most part, but we wasn't, that educated on cannabis. Me myself, I should say. I'm not gonna
mm,
say we, but I know a lot of street people that still, don't know about terpenes and stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So just learning that and being able to have that experience and hands-on experience was definitely a good look for me.
What's been the hardest part about being in the cannabis space?
I say the hardest spot about being in the cannabis space is probably for one, people be like, oh shit, you cannabis club owner. Like it's not a cash cow how people may think it is. For one, they're like, this nigga rolling in money.
Yeah,
Like it ain't it ain't what it look like. You feel me? To be honest, what I mean, I make it look good. I mean, on the
yeah,
gram and
yeah,
shit though.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, the shit is all real though. Ain't no fake it to the make it shit though. But nevertheless though, it ain't no cash cow. For one, taxation is like 32, 35%. You know what I mean? Which is
hmm,
crazy. And then we don't get any write-offs just like the regular industry do. I mean, sorry, other industries give. Compared to all the write-offs that everyone else has. It's like shit. It's kind of damn near you can't. It's hard to win in this space right now,
mm.
and so it's hard to win in this space. And then I actually just got off an interview. I just got off a little Zoom, but they're trying to bring some type of, I guess you would want to say, reform to this space now,
Mhm.
but through legislation, man, it don't look like they're budging at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't look like they're trying to lean to in our direction, to be honest. And they say it's an equity program, equity, but
yeah,
how it's set up, bro, is like you can't make them a certain amount of money, but then you have to have a certain amount of money. It's kind of crazy, bro. It's
yeah.
like you can't qualify if you make too much. But then okay, once I don't make too much, now I have to have this certain amount of money. So just kind of figuring out a way to navigate through the shit. I've definitely had a whole lot of people that's helped me out in this space, man. That's kind of gave me a lot of game. But yeah, I'm still figuring shit out too.
Rest in peace, Trig. I seen Trig going to the store doing his thing with you, man. Rest in peace, Trig.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Trig, man. And that was my guy, bro. I was able to orchestrate him actually getting into the regulated market.
Mm.
Yeah. So I literally helped set up everything. He had got at me. We went to Everett. I told you I went to Everett.
Yeah,
Him and I went to together, and
yeah,
he was like, that was my boy, bro. Like we literally on everything before homeschool. We would wrestle every day. It was
yeah,
crazy. We were nuts. We would literally wrestle in the street. So he helped me make me into the pit bull I turned into,
yeah.
man. Shout out to Trig, man.
Shout out to
Rest in peace.
Trig.
But you know, yeah, man. So I had I was able to able to have him to orchestrate his deals to be able to get in the regulated market, man. And that and man, it was a good look. Hold on 1 second, man. I got I'm Shalom, bro. Shalom. Hey, I'm on the interview. I hit you up, bro. I got you. All right. Yep.
Hmm.
No, yeah. So I was saying, man, just kind of showing them that just showing them just it was a whole different language, you know what I mean, and
Yeah,
showing them that it was a man, just a whole different space, and I was able just to let them know, like, bro, you gonna put your shit out, you gonna put your red eyes out. Shout out to Red Eyes. I'm like, just don't expect to make no money. You know what I mean? He like, wait, what? I'm like, so when I explain, I'm like, literally, whatever you're doing right now, just do it for promotion. You know what I mean? Get
yeah,
your name out there. As long as you break even, you just be cool with that. But right now, it ain't gonna be no money in it like that. And a lot of people don't know that, bro. They
right.
think let me get my in there. Just due to taxation and all the, all these, all these damn different codes that they got, bro. Was kind of
Hmm.
nuts. So it's again it's just not I mean 75% of the market is in a illicit market, man, so that shows you
Right.
everything right there itself.
How can we get more people of color in the cannabis space?
I say more people of color in the cabinet space. For one, that needs to be done. That needs to be, I mean, equity was a step towards that, but
Hmm.
it still has its own, uh um not so I guess it has its own uh, things that I would gripe about, that I still, gripe about to this day, that. But I'd say for one, I don't know, more access to I don't know, for one, some fucking federal funding or something like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now they're giving some state funding, but some federal funding, that would give people an opportunity. I mean, and just resources for like you know, technical support.
Yeah.
Um, it's a space that a lot of people that of color, indigenous folks, they're not aware of. And to be honest, we pioneered this shit though. To be honest,
Yeah.
we don't want to pioneered this. We don't want to started this. And not only did we start this, we the ones that went down for this shit. We the ones that's been murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say we with that in that sentence with myself, but our people have been murdered, put in jail to this day. So like I said, with us pioneering it and starting this shit and keeping the wave going,
Yeah.
for all these years. Shit, man, we deserve of it for sure.
Um, you got boys, you got sons, right, bro?
Yeah, I got 3 sons and 1 daughter.
Um,
4 deep, no.
me too. Do the boys want to box, and if they do, how do you encourage them, or what's your stance on it?
Yep. So yeah, my son. So I have a 20-year-old son. He learned how to box, and he learned jujitsu. He's in Mississippi becoming a pilot right now. So he's a
Mm,
young black pilot. He'll be graduating actually this summer. And yeah, as a pilot, I mean, he still has to get his degree to be able to do commercial, but he'll
yeah.
have his private life pilot. So we shipped him out there. But he got hands though. He definitely I taught him how to fight. And then the next generation was my son, which is like 16. Like it was funny though because he was the smooth guy, smooth operator, R&B guy, like to
Yeah.
sing and the
Real
whole
chill.
dance and right. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm not gonna force boxing on him, but I'm like, bruh, you gotta learn how to fight though. You know what I mean? I'm like, bruh, you can't. I'm like, regardless, you gotta learn how to fight. So I was able to put them in jiu-jitsu for some years, but he actually never showed any you know any uh any hunger to be to be a grinder like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Until he decided to get into wrestling
Mm.
just last year. So he got into wrestling, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. There you go, champ. I see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I see him in wrestling, man. He doing his thing and he taking it serious. He running. I'm like, I'm actually happy to see that because I definitely wanted me a grinder. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wanted somebody grinding with that I can be pushing you. You know what I mean? My other son is 9 and like he's very articulate, very intelligent. He's in like a bilingual school and class, and he's like they all doing like good things,
Yeah.
coding and all everything. But I'm like, man, y'all still gotta be y'all coming from the hard hitter. Y'all still gotta be able to hit. Goddammit. You feel me? I mean, because ultimately, once I don't know. I mean, I just know for myself, just knowing that that I can defend myself is it gives me confidence, and I'm definitely that's no type of brag or I'm not overconfident, but I just know I can defend myself.
Hmm.
It just gives me leverage to know that fuck if it go down, I can fight them flight. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. For real. For real. I don't want to keep it too long because I know you got the family in there. If it's somebody young or some kids or somebody who want to learn boxing, what would you send them at in the city right now?
Right now, I'll probably send them to right over Third Street Boxing. Shouts out to Third Street. Hit Fits, a few decent gyms over there in the city. I'm actually putting together another. I'll be ready after the summer though. I was actually so I mentor. I have a mentorship program called Soul Champ. Soul Champ, SOUL's Champ. Be a champion in your own soul. So I was actually able to volunteer doing that for like a couple of years.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm actually going back into that space though within the after the summer. So yeah, man, I'll be over there at Patrol Hill Gym right there in the hood in the hill, right there, Patrol Hill Park and Recreation, man. From like ages like I'll be doing it like 12 to like 18. But like I said, I'm just volunteer, man. That's my passion is doing for the people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I definitely can get paid for it, but I'm like I said, I like doing it for the people. And I got I'm blessed to be able to do that. For the most part, I had time to do that. So yeah, man, I spread the do what I can to give to who I can give to when I can.
Get a blessings back, champ. That's what it's about, man. I'm gonna give you two more questions, cuz.
So, uh,
If you could describe Fillmore in the '90s to somebody, how would you describe it?
a movie, damn near, maybe like some a part of a little bit of let me see, a paid in full
Hmm.
mixed with some motherfucking with a little bit of roll bounce with Bow Wow.
Yeah.
It was that vibe. It was that vibe. It was like we was lit. We all had paper. We was definitely Cheddar Boys. And as I said, like that, I think the movie name of the movie is Roll Bounce or something. Bounce
Yeah.
and Roll. I don't
I
know.
think that's
With
it.
our
Yeah.
skating, the skate. It was that. It was like a cool ass vibe where people was outside. People outside with their dogs, dice games. People outside with as I mentioned, dice games. Remote control cars.
Yeah.
People ride bikes. It was definitely a good look in the '90s. You know what I mean? And then horrible time had came where then our people started dropping like flies, man.
Yeah.
Left and right, man. From senseless violence, bro. But yeah, overall though, the '90s is definitely good for me during the earlier '90s. Towards the end, man, a lot of my folks was being murdered.
Give me your top five fighters of all time before you go, cuz.
Top 5 fighters of all time. I'm gonna definitely have to start with Muhammad Ali for one. I mean, man, he was swaggy, bro. Back then he had swaggy. He was humorous. He was full of people
Yeah.
and nice, man.
Yeah.
Remind me of myself. All
Yeah.
of the above.
Yeah.
So uh, And so I definitely say him just overall as a human being, as a fighter and human being. And then of course I got to go to Mike Tyson. You know, I've always had known for being a hard hitter and having power, so I've always look at him and like, I like Tyson, and I actually like what he's doing now. He's changed his life around, and I'm seeing what he's doing. I'm doing his thing. Shouts out to him. I got I have his cannabis his brand in my cannabis club. It's
Okay.
I did something with Holyfield, and it's cannabis ears. It's like edible ears. It's hella funny. He said
Oh, that's sick.
ears, bro, as edibles. So then back to your question, I say then I mean you gotta say Floyd Mayweather. I mean for
Yeah,
one, his is superb. He don't get hit. Again, the name of the game is hit and don't be hit. And then I mean his business savvy is
yeah.
is man like man running a bag up. So then I say then I got my folks and I got like somebody like um Andre Ward. Shouts out to Andre Ward from the
Hmm.
Bay, man. He was do what he said he was gonna do and go out and conquer man a lot of fighters, man, and overall ultimately retire undefeated and retire. Now he's broadcasting and doing his thing, man. So shouts out to Andre Ward. And then I say like a Roy Jones Jr., man. I think
Mm.
I'm on number 4. Roy Jones Jr. for one, his skill, his ability, his defense, and his man, his combos, man, and ultimately he was just an entertainer. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Yo,
Yeah.
Jones fight excited. He was gonna be excited. Even if he KO, he was gonna beat your ass and dance with it. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Um, and then I say, a lot of people don't know this cat, but his name was Willie Pep.
Willie Pep.
He was a, yeah, he was a white fighter. But before Floyd, it was really Pep, man. And
Mm.
Willie Pep was, and he was cold, bro. He went like he won a round with just like throwing one punch or something without throwing a punch. It's something crazy though. He
Yeah.
won one like nobody's done that before, but he basically was like he was hard to hit.
Yeah.
And I was definitely shooting at the game coming up, man. And I would study a lot of the legends and not try to take their style or adapt their style in its entirety, but take bits and pieces from everybody and make my own.
Straight like that. Who you got, Tank or Garcia?
I like Garcia, but I got to roll with Tank, man. He and it's not by no means. People like, oh, you only roll with him because he's black,
Yeah.
because you guys look similar. I've heard that. You only roll with him because it look like your little brother. Like, nah, but no. It's because of what I've seen from him. I've seen him, for one, I've never seen him hurt, and I've seen Ryan Garcia hurt, and I've
Mm.
seen him dropped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and then his power, his power is undeniable. I think he's only not knocked out two guys out of his whole career, man. So, man, he's definitely a guy to reckon with, man. And so a force to reckon with. So I see Tank winning that by knockout.
I appreciate you so much, cuz. Tell them where to find the Cannabis Club. Tell them where to find you. I appreciate you for your time. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? We're going to do this again. I appreciate you. I know you got the wifey birthday. Happy birthday, wifey, man. And
Right
just
on,
keep
bro.
putting on for the city, bro. Keep putting on for
No,
for the culture, cuz.
absolutely, man. Like you said, it's for the culture. Hey, and you can pull up to the Cannabis Club, Authentic 415. Come get your health and wellness. That's 165 Mississippi Street, man. And shit, y'all know how to follow me, man. But hey, man, I'm around, man, and get at me, man. I'm all the way down. Get
Nigga.
it.
Salute, cuz. I appreciate you, boy. Keep doing what you're
Well, man,
doing.
good shit, man.
We're going to double back to it. Do it again.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
appreciate you.
All right, be cool.
One.